I have a,
You
I
have
have
a
a
dream.
dream. Hello, everybody. I'm Mario. I am the developer in this duo. I actually had a random fact prepared for this episode, but then I put my hand in my pocket, and this is what was in my pocket. So that's my random fact for today. I know it's in 5 episodes, I have 2 random facts about diapers, but
You
well,
you gotta
that's my
keep in
life.
mind that not everybody's watching. Some people are listening. So when you're showing things to the camera, it doesn't translate well with your podcast. But hi everybody, and my name is Tom. I'm the designer in the duo. And since Mario pulled up a diaper out of his pocket as a his random fact, I have actually a dog poo bag in my pocket. So it's not the same, but not close enough. Uh,
Kind of thinking
since
alike.
we are talking about things that are in the frame, I just put my picture of Bill Burr here on the side. If you're listening and not watching, there's a painting of Bill Burr on my wall that was painted by my dear friend Vlatko, who is also a comedian. And a quick fun fact is we went to see Bill Burr live in Amsterdam, and he does a meet and greet, but that time he did, so we got a chance to talk with him briefly. He was happy enough to meet with fellow comedians from a country that he probably couldn't find on a map. So that's kind of fun. Uh, our topic for today is we're going to talk about productivity and unproductivity. And since Mario and I are both struggling from ADHD and procrastination, I think this is a topic that a lot of people can, I'm sure, relate to. So we're going to talk about that, and we'll want to mention a couple of books and how we deal with stuff. So how about you take it away and you start, and then I'll just pile on with my bullshit.
So I suck, and if anybody who is working with me on a daily basis is listening to this, and they actually hear that I'm doing a conversation about productivity, they will be, oh my god, what's wrong with those guys? So I am struggling a little bit with procrastination. I've read a bunch of books. There are some great books, there are some awesome books, and we're going to talk about them. But basically, it all boils down to sit down and get the shit done. No book is going to make you do it. Just bite the bullet, stop watching YouTube, stop listening to a designer and developer having coffee, and go do whatever it is you have to do, and then come back and listen to us.
Yes, if you're procrastinating listening to this, maybe it will help. I don't know. I wrote about this, and I don't know if you know this, but our brains are not wired for productivity. So this is actually true, right? So for thousands of years, humans have been avoiding armies and predators and elements and all that stuff to get to a state in where we built the civilization, and now we can finally relax, and now you want to be productive. So, like, if you are reading, like, if you're watching this or listening to this in your home in front of a computer, and you're warm and cozy and having a cup of coffee, and you have food that you don't have to hunt for, and now suddenly, like, yeah, I want to do something, I want to learn new shit, and I want to be productive, I want to achieve things, and your brain is like, how dare you? Like, we got to a point where we don't have to do this, and now you're suddenly like, oh yeah, I want to get out of my comfort zone. Like, no, comfort zone is nice, it's comfortable, but our brains are not built for that. So you actually got to break your mind and to do stuff like that.
Yes, but I mean, this is something that developers do, you know, on a daily basis. Like, I have a process that takes 4 steps that I can do manually, but no, I'm gonna spend 20 days learning a new scripting language so I can write a script that does it for me, and then I'll run it twice because I'm never gonna have to do that
It
again.
doesn't matter, but you learn something. That's the But there
Of
was
course.
when I started freelancing years ago, one of my first remote gigs was I don't even remember the platform anymore, but they had like time tracking software, and I just couldn't deal with that because I stared to the screen blankly for so long. It just kind of felt that it would be wrong to charge the client for me just staring through the screen doing nothing. And me being honest and being fair, I was thinking like, how can I tell my client that I'm actually doing work in my mind without, actually moving the mouse and the thing. It was a conversation that I was dreading. And then at one point I was like, look, guys, I do this, and this, but I think about your project while I'm on the toilet or whatever. And this time tracking thing kind of doesn't work, especially when you're doing mind work. And the answer was like, yeah, cool, fine, don't track it and just write whatever hours you did. And it was the quickest conversation ever. And I was shocked because I thought like that they want to micromanage me, but they didn't actually. So that was a experience.
So I'm looking at it. I'm looking at it this way. People. Okay, so I've worked in TopTal. TopTal is a network of talent where you can hire top talent, and
Yeah,
we're
we
both
both we
members.
both worked. Yeah,
We're both top talent. Just, I'm not saying that we're awesome, but we're
but
just
we are kind of
really awesome.
a little bit,
And
a little bit.
yeah, we are just amazing. We are amazing and modest. But on top of that, some of the clients were like, "Well, if I hire a person from you, how will I know that they are working? I need a time tracking software." We're like, "But they will, you know, they we can arrange that they log time." No, I want screenshots and keyboard strokes and things like that. A, if you make it a metric that I have 10 screens that show that I'm working, then I'm not focusing on working. Then I'm focusing on solving the metric. So I can, have three monitors on one monitor do something, or have two computers on one computer do something, and then every 30 seconds make a script that does seven keystrokes so I can trick your freaking software. But then that's me fighting the system that you are trying to implement in order to increase productivity. So you are proactively decreasing my productivity by trying to increase my productivity. On the other hand, as a company owner now, I would love to know how many hours were spent on what. And I wouldn't want to know so that I can come to my employee and tell him, hey, this was supposed to be done in 4 hours. You did it in five. You're fired. That's not the goal. I don't care about that. If somebody needs to be fired, it's for different reasons and they will know about them. This is called communication in a company and company culture and all of that. So that's not about it. But I would love to know in the end, okay, on this project, in general, we expected to spend 10,000 hours. We spent 13,000 hours. That's a metric that, a high level would want to know. I don't care about the hour. I don't care about the specifics. I don't care about, being late. So those time tracking things and those time tracking constrictions should are useful, but they don't need to be there to make people feel scared or jeopardized, or their work being in any way challenged or anything like that. On the other hand, when I started freelancing, even way before all of these three, I spoke to a friend of ours, Tomislav Capan, who I hope is listening, and he told me that he usually tracks his own time. And I was like, well, why would you do that? Why would you bother? And he says, well, I'm practicing that I give myself an estimate and then see how close I am. And A, it will help me learn how much can I do in a certain unit of time. And B, it will help me become better at giving estimates. So this is actually an interesting exercise that I was doing at the time. And it actually does help you understand how much you can do in a single unit of time, and it actually does help you understand. You become better at giving estimates. So shout out to Tomislav
This is
for teaching me
actually
that one.
one of the things that I started doing when I discovered something called the Pomodoro technique. And that was so for if anyone who's listening doesn't know what it is, it's a great way to give yourself estimates on however will it take you to do something. and then you track in 20-minute increments or pomodoros. So let's say that I say I'm going to be replying to emails for an hour, and that's three 20-minute pomodoros with 5-minute breaks. And when I started doing that, what I've discovered along the similar lines is that I way underestimate how much some things actually take time. So I'd say like, oh, 20 minutes to reply to six emails, and then it's actually 2 hours because you need to sit down, think about it, write a thoughtful reply. And especially if I'm replying to my accountant, then I need to collect all of the invoices. I need to put everything in a folder and kind of becomes a thing. And then I go to my online accounting software, and from there I go to LinkedIn and to my banking and blah, blah, blah. And then suddenly I'm doing three other things, but not replying to an email to my accountant. And then it's been 2 weeks and he's still waiting for me to send him those invoices. And he hates me, but I keep paying him, so he cannot fire me. But this is one of the things that really helped me to estimate uh, how much time I'm actually wasting and how much time is actually being distracted by random things. And sometimes I will go on a deep dive on Wikipedia about Justin Bieber's mom for whatever reason, and I just find myself in this weird corner of internet, and then I have to go back. But there are there are techniques that actually help achieving things, especially if it's something that you want to do consistently. And this is something that I picked up years ago from Jerry Seinfeld. And when I say this, I wasn't personally talking to Jerry Seinfeld when I was doing my comedy, but he said that he writes every day. He writes jokes every day for whatever time you spend writing a day, even if it's 5 minutes. He does a little X on his calendar and he calls it making a chain. And whatever you do, you do not break a chain. So you write daily and then just keep extending the chain. And this is something that really helped me, not just with writing. It helped with writing a lot, but it helped with a lot of things that I wanted to do daily, like doing daily exercise or doing daily meditations or doing daily writing or whatever I want to do daily. I would write it down. And then a couple of years ago, I got for a birthday, I think I got a uh, present from a friend of mine called something called Fox Planner, which is basically like a planner that one of the things that has on like your weekly schedule is the habits you want to track. So you write down a habit and then you have little dots. Did you do it daily? And using that planner actually is great when you actually don't forget to use it daily. So I have to have a reminder to do my daily reminders, but it does really help stay on track.
So everybody. I read a bunch of procrastination books, and everybody just says so. Two really good advices. One, don't try to do it. Have a system. So if you do what you're mentioning there is like just write anything, even if it completely sucks, even if you're completely uninspired, if you want to have a system of writing jokes, sit down and write jokes. They can be the most horrible jokes ever. You might not want to use it, but just have that consistency, and then the results will come. And actually, what I was looking at a lot recently was when you are kids, then talent comes into play a lot. And if you're talented, then you do good at school because it's for you and it's difficult for some guys. But then when you grow up, when you graduate, when you start working, when you get to a real world, the talent sort of levels out and the consistency and hard work take over. So if you look at people who are successful in whatever they do, either sports, music, writing, stand-up comedy, whatever, the ones that work the hardest and the ones that work the most consistently end up on top. And then in the top, those are again divided by the initial talent. But like 95% is work and 5% is talent. And it's just about consistency, doing it on a daily job. Speaking of which, I'm going to now mention the book, but I know you have it somewhere down there to show. Uh, among a lot of books, James Clear, Atomic Habits. If you have not read James Clear, Atomic Habits, read James Clear, Atomic Habits. He has a nice style of writing, so you can read it easily. It's a easy read. B, it's among it being his own framework how to do this, yada yada. It's personal. It's on how he did it. about a really difficult period of his life. So, it's not you should do this. It's I did this and this helped me, which I always prefer. And it gives a fairly straightforward framework. And one of the things that it mentions is connecting to the Jerry Seinfeld chain is if you skip it once, it's okay, just continue doing it tomorrow and things like that. If you skip it twice, then you're already starting a new bad habit. And that's kind of another thing to make you feel guilty about
Yeah,
procrastination.
there's another book that I want to mention. It's called Solving the Procrastination Puzzle. It's a very thin book, 3 4 times thinner than James's book, but it's more of a, I would even call it like a tutorial. It's like a how to. Uh, this is the problem. This is how you solve the issue. James kind of gives more of a. He gives some details examples, but he also kind of goes high level to understand where it comes from. This is from a PhD, a doctor who actually studied this, and there are some really great approaches to solving different types of procrastinations. But one of my biggest helpers that I did was removing distractions. Well, you said like you have to sit down and work. That's true. But for me, it was sit down once I remove all of the distractions that I have. And this is the process of identifying what those distractions were. One of them, the primary one, being the phone. And I would take the phone and put it in a different room from the room that I'm working. And you would be surprised if you I tracked actually how many times I put hand in my pocket to grab my phone, and or just tap my just to see. And I took a piece of paper and I was just writing little lines to see how many times I do this within one Pomodoro. And it was horrible. It was at the beginning. It was dozens of times in 20 minutes. Like it's such a reflex, and you're not even aware what is the hindrance of just having your phone next to you. And I would do the same little repeat thing. Like I'll just look at the phone, open Facebook, open notification, open WhatsApp, whatever it is. And once I reshuffled the icons on my home screen, you would see how many times I would open the wrong app just because your mind goes directly to that place on the screen. It was horrible to discover that. So I would put the phone in a different room, completely different room, and like put it on mute and do not disturb. Only person who can reach me at that point is my wife, and that's it. And then start doing the work. That's one of the biggest things. But also, there were so many things. I actually wrote a list of all of the things that I do to get the work done without being distracted. And I'm just going to go through a list because I think it's in no particular order. 15 things that I did. Number one is I don't watch or read the news or listen to the news or whatever. So news completely uh, removed from my life. Like nothing important mostly never happens, right? So, and if something important happens, you will know about it, right? So don't worry about it. You will not miss out. So FOMO on the news, get that right up. I reply to emails at specific times of the week. So I reply to emails, for example, on Tuesdays and Thursdays, whatever, between 12 and 2. And this is the only time when I actually sit down and make a decided idea. Like this is when I reply to emails. If it's something urgent that needs my reply, my accountant needs me or whatever, I'm going to reply. But I don't reply to emails, especially if they are not that important. I do not answer my phone. I do not talk on the phone to people. Like specific people can get to me. Everybody else, and my phone has been on flight mode for months now. I don't even know who calls me. Doesn't matter. Since I've been working from home for the majority of my career, I always get dressed. I never work in my nightwear, so I always wear the same clothes. This is one of the things. So I wear the same clothes daily. I call it my uniform. I have a couple of t-shirts, my jogs, and that's it. Rotate same 10 routine clothes items. Same thing with the diet. I'm working from home. I'm rotating 5 same meals. I don't care as long as it's a quality meal. Doesn't matter what it is. I don't think about it, especially if I buy in advance. Just pick it up and try to eat healthy. Duh, that's one of the things. Um, I sleep until I'm awake and rested. I know this is one of the tips that not everybody can use, especially people like you who have 3 kids. Like you wake up when kids jump on your face. I understand that. But for me personally, it's no alarm clocks. And I wake up rested. For whatever reason, I still wake up at 6 a.m. But when I wake up, then I get up. I don't have an alarm clock. And if my energy is running low midday, take a power nap. That also works. Exercise regularly. That really helps. Uh, Practice any 80-20 rule. This is a good one. I think I got that from Derek Sivers. But whatever brings most in terms of whatever you're doing, do that and then focus on that, nothing else. Uh, I try to prioritize one task per day. So whatever I have to do today, I do one main thing that I have to complete to consider that day success. So before I would pile on 30 different things. Like, oh, well, I have to write emails, do this, send a proposal, blah, 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 blah. No, today I have to record this podcast. This is the primary thing that I have to do. We are doing this today. Everything else will be a bonus if I get around to it. If not, doesn't matter. But if I did one thing, it's a win. I set a routine that works. So I don't really like those. Oh, my morning routine is just da, da, da. But there are things that I do consistently routinized. For example, I wake up, uh, drink my electrolytes, have a cold shower, and then start working. So I will not skip that, and it really buzzes me up without having coffee. And I will have coffee a little bit later. This is what I got from Andrew Huberman on delaying caffeine in the morning for an hour and a half. So you will have better energy throughout the day, and it really works. If I have an idea, I'm going to write it down. So whatever the idea is, I write it down and then I can let it go. Otherwise, I'm going to be thinking about the idea. I'm going to run with it. I'm going to explore it. I'm going to Google it. And then I'm going to end up again on Justin Bieber's mom's Wikipedia page. So I have an idea. I write it down and then come back to it later. Um, I try to visualize what I want to do. So in the morning, think about this is what I'm doing with my day and see in my head and then aim for that. And there's no surprises. I know that at 11, I'm going to do this. At 12, I have delivery coming in, kind of visualize the day. And I don't do meetings that can be an email. I say no. If I'm working with a team, if something can be written in an email, I'm going to say like send me an email. I don't want to hop on a call. Hey, can we hop on a call for a quick? No. I'm not hopping on a quick call. It breaks my flow. It breaks my concentrations. For a 5 minute quick meeting, I lose an hour to get back into my flow. So if it's not important, send me an email. If it's important, call me. You'll not get through because my phone is on flight mode. And then, and then I have a specific block out time for calls. So maybe it's going to be like between 4 and 6 every day. And then if you want to talk to me, this is when we can hop on a call. And that's it. Sorry, this was a little bit of monologue, but I had to get that out.
But it's a good monologue, and I'm thinking about a lot of things that you do. I agree with. So I agree with no phone. Phone is on mute, and then I will get back to you. I won't. If you have a feeling, hey, now I'm ready, and now I'm gonna call Mario. Why do you assume that I don't have anything better to do than just to wait for your call? If you want to get to me, it's much better if you tell me, hey, are you available for a call at 10:30? I am or I'm not. I can make it happen. But, I'm going to call you out of the blue now so we can discuss. Can be necessary, but I don't prefer it because it chops up my times. And especially if you are using a technique like Pomodoro, which is, I don't know, you have, so for those who don't understand, basically you say, okay, now I'm going to do this task. I expect it to take 2 hours. That's 4 Pomodoros, which means I'm going to work 4 slots of 25 minutes. And in between each slot, I'm going to have a 5 minute break. In those 25 minutes, you switch off everything. No notifications, no Slack, no email, no WhatsApp, no. You focus on whatever you do. And then you have 5 minutes to catch up on all of those things that you've missed in the previous 5 minutes. And then you do it again. So in those 5 minutes, you can actually return the calls that you've missed and things like that. So I really like that. And another thing that I found useful for me is so there's a technique called an accountability buddy. An accountability buddy is somebody who you commit to that you're going to be doing something on a consistent basis. For example, I know that if Tom was to run this podcast on his own, that he would do 3 episodes and then quit. I know that if I were to run this podcast on my own, I would do one episode and then I would quit. But the fact that I'm committed to him and the fact that he's committed to me is pushing us forward. So, you can't say, yeah, I'm not going to do it now because he's counting on you. He can't say, yeah, I don't want to do it now because I'm counting on him. And that kind of pushes you forward. So, if you have a habit that you want to put in place, like jogging, like eating healthy, like, doing whatever, get an accountability buddy. Me and my brother, we have formed a WhatsApp channel where we send each other updates about our exercises and kind of making fun of the other one. While you're drinking beer, I just did 15 push-ups. And it's stupid. It's sixth grade level fun for a lawyer and a developer, but it actually kind of motivates you. Okay, damn, he did something. Now I should do something, and things like that. Also, from Atomic Habits, regular exercise is good. How I am putting it into effect in my company, we have a daily meeting where we just kind of run through tasks, and during that daily meeting I actually do 10 push-ups. So when it's not I can do push-ups and listen, that's the multitasking that I can do. So I put myself on mute, and while somebody else is talking, I actually put in 10 push-ups. And I know 10 push-ups isn't really exercise, but going back to James Clear, going back to Atomic Habits, if you do 10 push-ups on a daily basis, they accumulate. And then next time you're going to do 12. And then next time you're going to do 15. And then at your own tempo, you're going to get to a number that is actual exercise. But the idea is that you do it every day, that you don't break the chain. And you will note that regardless of the resources that we are talking about, we are kind of always coming back to just consistency. Another rule that helped me a lot is it's either called the 2-minute rule or the 5-minute rule. And for all of those that have connected it to sex, I don't know why you did that. That's your problem. But basically, the 2-minute rule says take a task, no matter how much you hate it, and do it for 2 minutes. Just start and do it for 2 minutes. If after 2 minutes you still feel like hating it, then drop it. But in most cases, just, getting your lazy ass off of the couch to do it is more difficult than actually doing it. And once you start doing it, you actually feel good and want to finish, as opposed to being on the couch watching Netflix and I really don't feel like doing the dishes now. So do it for 2 minutes. If you really don't feel like doing the dishes, wash 3 plates, let it go. You're going to do it later. But just the moment of get going. And then, again, James Clear has a concept, make it easy to get going. So your brain will automatically, let's say, fight. If you are starting a habit of, let's say, daily running, your brain will automatically fight it. It will prefer laying on the couch and watching Netflix as opposed to going out and running when it's cold, when it's raining, and things like that. Therefore, make it easy to go running. Make your athletic shoes stand in front of there, being visible, them watching at you and saying, "Hi, lazy ass, look at us, we're here." Make it easy for you to do the right thing. If you have a problem with eating too much sweets like I do, make it easy for yourself to avoid that. Get rid of the sweets in the house. It's difficult with 3 kids. That's why I'm still way overweight. But there are things that you can do. So on the 80-20 rule, there's one thing in a day that you can do that brings 80% of the value of your whole daily output. Other 80% of things are easy, but they bring just 20% of the value. Focus on the big thing. There's a great book about this. It's called Eat That Frog by Brian
Yep.
Tracy, I think. Thank you. And the concept is based on a quote from Mark Twain. Start every day by eating a frog. If you do that, that's the worst thing that's going to happen through your day, and then the day just gets better from the moment. But the only problem is all of these are nice written advice, and all of them work if you apply them constantly. The problem with procrastination, from my end at least, I understand all of this advice on a intellectual level. It's really good. It's all of it is accurate. The only problem is actually putting it into effect. So going back to what I said in the beginning, just get up and do the thing. But also, one thing to have in mind is that this is a problem that's not, you're not going to solve procrastination in 2 weeks. You're going to solve procrastination in 2 years. So don't try, okay, now I listen to this podcast. Now I feel fully motivated. From tomorrow, I'm on a diet. From tomorrow, I'm running. From tomorrow, on my job, I have a to do list, calendar list. From tomorrow, no, you're not going to be able to do 10 things from tomorrow. From tomorrow, start by doing 5 push-ups after brushing your teeth, and then do it for 3 weeks. And then after 3 weeks, if you're successful with that, add another one. And then you slowly get small improving systems into your life. And if you do that, the small improving systems accumulate and get you to a good place. And actually, another book that is not by a psychologist, not by a scientist, not by anything, but I really like it. And it kind of touches productivity among other things. Scott Adams, the creator of Dilbert, has a book called How to Fail at Everything and Still Win at Life. And as opposed of all of the serious, you know, actually motivating anti-procrastination books, Scott is just writing his own experience, and he's funny, and he's a little bit crazy, and he's a little bit extreme in some places. But it's a nice read. If you ask me today what that book is about, I have no idea, but it's cool. So I don't know, that resonated with me.
Yeah, I love Dilbert. It's it's one of the first comics that I've started actually following regularly. That and Garfield.
I don't know. Dilbert was weird for me before I got into the IT industry. So when I was like in high school, the daily paper had Dilbert on the last page, and I was reading that, and I was like, "This is just not funny." And then I started working in an IT company where we had sales, accounting, a manager, you know, and then it was like, "Wow, this guy's actually sitting like he's sitting in a drawer in my desk listening to our everyday job and then writing comics about it." And that's where it became hilarious. So if anybody is listening to this podcast and is not reading Dilbert, I'm seriously worried about your I don't know, mental health, I guess.
Yeah. uh, One of the things that I wanted to mention with James Clear and his rules, and then there was also one thing that helped. It's 5 second rule from Mel Robbins. So she has a great TED talk on it, and it's basically when you get a notion you want to do something, it's either you do it right away or you don't. But if it breaks your focus on whatever you're doing, it's I think James Clear called this internal distractions, where you're working on something and then suddenly you're thirsty, you have to pee, you have to do all of these things that you suddenly have to do. I got a lot of those when I was writing a homework as a kid. Like it's like, oh, suddenly I have to do all of the things. I'm hungry. And
I suddenly have the urge
yeah,
to clean the house. I really want to go to the dentist
exactly.
right now.
Which is good if you're actually procrastinating but doing the other things that I want to do. That's also one of the tricks that I do. I have three things that I want to do, and then I procrastinate on one by doing the other. So some needle is moving forward at some point, so it's not a problem. But she has this 5 second rule where she says if something breaks your flow, you just count from five backwards, and make sure it goes away. And it's like it kind of breaks your mental. I don't know. It's a they studied it. It works. I don't know why. I'm not a brain scientist, but it works. So 5 second rule. Something breaks your flow. Count from 5 to 0, and then just continue working. It will go away, and it does work. Especially when you get a notion like I want to check my phone. No, you don't. You don't want to check your phone. Like do anything but check your phone, and then it just
The worst thing is that on the phone you got like, 10 notifications, and these are notifications. So the phone notifications work like a casino, and there's the in that movie that really created a big hype, The Social Dilemma. One of the good parts about that movie is how they explain from a psychology point of view how the notifications are built to trigger the same centers in your brain like a slot machine. So you put the slot machine, just the anticipation of what's going to happen is teasing your nerve system. Similar like this, you're looking at your Facebook tweet and waiting for that little, oh yes, someone, oh, another person like my photo. Like, yeah, not important. But going back to the accountability buddy thing, for me it helps a lot. And there is a great tool. It's a small startup. It's called Deep Work. Deep Work without the O. So DEEPWRK.io. They have they want to improve focus. And one of the things they currently have is what is called a power hour. Basically, it's similar to Pomodoro, except it goes for an hour. Of course, you can tweak Pomodoro to go to your own time limits. But basically, you start a session with X amount of random people. It's led by Valery. Valery is a great guy. He's always there. And you kind of say, okay, for the next hour, I'm going to work on whatever. And then you just sit there with your camera turned on with five complete strangers you've never seen in your life. They don't care about what you're doing. You don't care about what they're doing, but they're watching you and you're watching them. And then you feel bad if you're not actually doing it because you see them doing what they're doing. And there is no mechanism to actually control you. So you can't actually play chess and tell them, yeah, I had a great session. I developed three features in .NET. But you don't. You actually feel kind of guilty because some eyes are on you, even though they're not. Eyes of complete strangers that you don't care about. And then you focus and actually do the work. And for me, I've done it for the last several weeks. It's been very productive. And I really like the approach from Valery. He's trying to build up the community and he's always asking for feedback. How can we improve this? How can we do this? How can we make it better? So they're still in the early stages. If you want to check deepwork.io, work without the O. Power hours, they have them on a daily basis, 3 times a day. Try one. Let me know in the comments on Twitter or LinkedIn or wherever. What do you think about it? I really like the tool and it really
I'm
helped me a
actually
lot.
going to check it out because you mentioned this a couple of times already. And when I look back at my kind of career wise, when I was the most productive is when I was working with someone. And when I started my first company, it was with a friend, and we had an office, so we would be in the office. It just felt stupid not to work because he's sitting there and we are building this thing together, and he's working his ass off. How can I be mindlessly scrolling through Facebook or whatever? So that kind of felt like somebody's there, and I have this accountability to perform and not screw him over. And this was the period when I worked the most. And since I started working from home alone, without working with partners or with anybody else, it became a problem. And I don't know where it comes from. That probably needs a team of psychiatrists to unpack that one. But there's something in this accountability thing for sure if you're struggling with this. And like you said with this podcast, this is not my first podcast, but it's the first one where I'm still keeping the level of enthusiasm after a while. I The only one that I kept up was where I was interviewing people. So that was like, yeah, I have the other person on the other side. Then COVID happened and kind of stopped. But when I tried to do it on my own, it was like, I'm going to do it later, and then later never comes. So that is one of the biggest issues. And I saw a video a couple of days ago about how can you gain more subscribers on YouTube or whatever platform you're using. And since we are nearing the end of this episode, this is a great place to say, hey, subscribe, hit the little notification icon, let us know what you think, leave a comment and whatever. Because if you don't ask, people will not do it. So if you're listening or watching to this, I'm asking you to subscribe and let us know what you think. This would be great feedback from whoever says anything. It really helps us get better. I don't know if you noticed, but Mario has a better microphone now. He has a better camera. We are failing upwards, so we'll listen to the feedback and we're gonna see what comes next.
Another feedback. So we are listening to feedback. I have a better microphone. I have a better camera. We're trying to. My background. You've all complained that my background was dull, so it's dull today. But I'm trying to work on that. You all complained, dude, you're wearing a nice shirt for a podcast. You never wear a nice shirt in real life. Why are you doing that? So now I'm in my regular clothes. So we are listening and ah,
What did you drop?
we are listening and we are trying to improve on a daily basis. So any feedback is welcome.
Great.
I don't know if this was a productive session.
I think it was, but we said last time that we're gonna wrap up on a bad joke. So I prepared one, you prepared one, and then we're gonna say goodbye to this one. You go first.
Do you know the one about janitor getting fired for smoking pot in
No.
the job? It turns out they didn't like high maintenance people.
Okay, that's pretty terrible. That's pretty terrible.
Thank you.
Do
Thank
you
you.
know what is the difference between a plum and a banana? They, they are both
No.
purple apart from banana. Oh my god, this is horrible. Anyway,
I actually heard the same one, but with the elephant and the
yeah,
tomato. They are both red except for the
yeah,
elephant.
that's true. But they are, at least in my mind. Don't think about the red elephant. It's going to distract you from your
Red elephant can be
distracting.
sexy. Uh, so anyway, we hope that we at least gave you some good resources to read on how to deal with procrastination because it's messed up. We hope that you will not make too many comments about me pronouncing procrastination wrong every time because it's a difficult word and I'm not smart. And thank you all for listening. Hit all of the like, subscribes, hearts, supports, blah, blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah, blah.
Thank you, everybody.
And thank you.
Bye.